Hi, I'm Guy Webber. I'm the winemaker at Stellenzicht Vineyards here in the Golden Triangle of Stellenbosch. And I'm here to speak to you shortly about our range of sulfite-free wines, or as we refer to them, no-added sulfite wines. It's a range called the Cellarmaster's Release range. And all three of these wines, that being a Petit Verdot, a Chardonnay and a Pinotage, all from the 2009 vintage. And they were all made without the addition of the preserving sulfites or the preservative sulfites. Sulfites have been used in winemaking for centuries as a preservative, and the levels of sulfites that we have in our South African wines are generally so low that they become sort of not a real health issue. Except that there are, unfortunately for them, a few people around, a small percentage of the wine drinking population, who have a sensitivity to sulfites or are allergic to them. And so that puts wine essentially out of their reach. And so these wines are basically made in order that those people can also enjoy the fruits of the vine. And so they're very, very specific wines and made for a specific reason. People have said that to successfully make wines without the addition of sulfite is not really viable economically or practically. And I think that with this range, we have essentially proved them wrong. A couple of things regarding the use of sulfites. Firstly, the sulfite is used as a preservative from a microbiological point of view. And I think that with the new technology that we have in terms of filtrations, etc., and working really sterile in the winery, we can take care of that side of the need for sulfites. And so the second part of the preserving action of the sulfites becomes possibly more important, and that is the preservation of the wine against oxidation. And in order to be able to look after that aspect, we need to make sure that the fruit that we use for these wines is really, really absolutely perfect. And so a very stringent selection process goes through at the time of harvesting the grapes, where the wines or the bunches of grapes are really very, very carefully selected, and so that we make sure that only the best and really perfect quality grapes are used for these wines. Thereafter, some very careful winemaking takes place, and essentially we've got to baby these wines all the way into the bottle. But we have found that once they have been made, the bottling process is very important, because there's a great risk of picking up oxygen during the bottling process. And so we in fact go as far as to have people standing along the side of the bottling line, putting dry ice into each bottle, a couple of pellets of dry ice into each bottle, just before the wine gets filled, in order to be able to remove any oxygen contact with the wine. And as I said, these are, all three of them are 2009 vintages. They've all been in the bottle for in excess of a year or 18 months already, and are showing particularly well. Now, if you're expecting these wines to taste like any other Petit Verdot, Chardonnay or Pinotage to which you become accustomed, I think there's a surprise in store for you, because not having that preservative of the sulfites does make the wines taste different. I believe it makes them taste better. It makes them taste, I think, more like wine should taste naturally. And the interesting thing with the wines is that because there's no sulfur preserving the flavors, the wines are very quiet on the nose, but that same lack of preservation, if I can put it that way, makes the palate of the wine, the mouthfeel of the wine, just so much better and so much more accessible and so much softer. So these are all very, very gentle wines, and yeah, absolutely, they bring wine back into the realm of living for those people who, from a physical point of view and from a health point of view, can't enjoy them. So to those people, we'd like to say